Hello viewers, once again it's me, Ewaenruwa Nomaren, and this is another episode of Verse Breakdown. The verse that I want to break down for you viewers is Psalms chapter 59 verse 3, where David the psalmist had stated, "For lo, they lie in wait for my soul. The mighty are gathered against me, not for my transgressions, nor for my sin, O Lord." If you also read Psalms chapter 56 verse 6, David the psalmist had also stated, "They gather themselves together, they hide themselves. They mark my steps when they wait for my soul." David the psalmist was talking about righteous ones of God who are innocent, but yet they are persecuted. Jesus Christ had told the apostles and others many times that persecution must come. The fact that Jesus Christ was persecuted, his apostles also had to go through the same thing. In John chapter 15, from verses 18 to 21. Joseph was innocent, he was righteous, and not only that, but his role in the whole scheme of things was to save Israel, from dying from the famine that was there. But even though Joseph was going to play such an important role, his brothers were envying him, they were persecuting him, they even sold him at one point. Potiphar's wife in Genesis chapter 39 even wanted to, and of course successfully, threw him in prison. All because Joseph was doing the right thing, because of his integrity, and because of what God wanted to use him for, which Joseph successfully did in the end. Moses was no different, because though he was a righteous man doing the will of God, there were people like Abiram, Dathan, Korah, and the 250 princes which were rebellious against Moses, and of course because God was using Moses, God himself, because they wanted to prove to Moses and Aaron that no, God is also using us too, and not only that, you guys can't just usurp authority as they thought he was doing, when in reality it was God's will that Moses was doing. And Abiram, Dathan, Korah, and the 250 princes were actually trying to persecute David in rebellion to what God was doing, and that was considered the mighty are gathered against me, for they lie in wait for my soul. Because of course Abiram, Dathan, and Korah were ready to kill Moses, kill Aaron, and almost anybody else that was in support of them and was ready to defend them, simply because they were in rebellion and they wanted to persecute such people. And the kingdom of God in these last days is also in that condition. And this last days, the period that we are living in, is going to be like that for every righteous person. Anybody who wants to raise their kids properly, anybody who wants their marriages to work, following the hierarchy of obedience in 1 Corinthians chapter 11 verse 3, will be persecuted by the governments. They will be persecuted by people who are a part of the beast, because the world has moved on from such things. People will be persecuting others in these last days because the kingdom of God is under persecution. If we read Revelation chapter 12 verse 4, the dragon, being Satan the devil, wanted to devour the child when it was to come, especially when the kingdom of God was set up in this world and it was starting to grow from World War I till now. Satan the devil wanted to cut it out, destroy it when it was to come out. And we saw how even though the kingdom of God came out of that, the principles that are a part of it, that guide it, the idea of marrying properly, the idea of freedom, the idea of worshiping God the way he wants to be worshipped, and making sure that his principles that he wants us to follow in these last days are followed. Nobody wants that to happen anymore. But we have to stay with God and move through such persecution, because we will be blessed if we do. If we read Matthew chapter 5 from verses 10 to 12. And I intend to go no further on explaining the verse Psalms chapter 59 verse 3. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you learned something. Most importantly, please try to subscribe, share this video, and click the notification bell to be notified when we make our next videos. Thank you for listening.